For the given function, we need to, in the part A, we need to find the first partial derivatives, and in part B, we need to find the second partial derivatives. So let's start by finding first partial derivatives, then part A, then f of x equals df over dx. So it equals d 6x cubed times y to the 5th power plus 11x to the 6th power and times y to the 4th power over dx. And this equals, let's simplify, this equals d of 6x cubed y to the 5th power over dx plus d of 11x to the 6th power y to the 4th power over dx. Now let's simplify it. We get that this equals 6 y to the 5th power times dx cubed over dx plus 11 y to the 4th power times dx to the 6th power over dx. Then this equals 6 y to the 5th power times 3x squared plus 11y to the 4th power times 6x to the 5th power. Let's simplify it. We get 18x squared times y to the 5th power plus 66x to the 5th power times y to the 4th power. Well, now let's find fy. So this equals df over dy. It equals d 6x cubed y to the 5th power plus 11x to the 6th power y to the 4th power over dx. Let's simplify it. Here we get 6x cubed times dy to the 5th power over dy. Here we get plus 11x to the 6th power times dy to the 4th power over dy. Oh, sorry, we have dy here. I don't know why I have written dx, so dy. Then we get that this equals 6 times x cubed times 5 y to the 4th power plus 11x to the 6th power times 4y to the y cubed. Let's simplify it. We get 30x to the 3rd power times y to the 4th power plus 44x to the 6th power times y cubed. Well, so these are the values of the first partial derivatives fx. So the value of fx is right here and fy is right here. Now let's move on to part B and let's find the second partial derivatives. So we will start by finding fxx. So this equals d over dx of df of dx. So it equals d over dx of fx. Since we already know fx, this equals d over dx of 18x squared y to the 5th power plus 66x to the 5th power times y to the 4th power. Let's simplify it. So we get 18y to the 5th power times dx squared over dx plus 66y to the 4th power times dx to the 5th power over dx, and we get 18y to the 5th power multiplied by by 2x plus 66 y to the fourth power multiplied by 5x to the fourth power. So this equals 36x times y to the fifth power plus 330x to the fourth power y to the first power. So we have found our one of the second partial derivatives. Now let's find next one. So next we will find f y which equals d over dy of df over dy, which equals d over di of fy. Well, since we know fy, we get that this equals d over dy of here's fy of 30x cubed times y to the fourth power plus 44x to the sixth power times y cubed. And this equals 30x cubed times dy to the fourth power over dy plus 44x to the sixth power times dy cubed over dy. And this equals 30x cubed times 4y cubed plus 44x to the sixth power times 3y squared. This equals 120x cubed y cubed plus 132x to the sixth power y squared. So this is another second partial derivative. And now let's find the last one, fxy. So fxy equals d over dy of df over dx. So this equals d by dy of fx. So this equals d over dy of 18x squared plus y to the fifth power 18x squared times y to the fifth power plus 66x to the fifth power times y to the fourth power. This equals 18x squared times dy to the fifth power over dy plus 66x to the fifth power times dy to the fourth power over dy. And we get that this equals 18x squared times 5y to the fourth power plus 66x to the fifth power times 4y cubed. And this equals 90x squared y to the fourth power plus 264x to the fifth power times y cubed. And this is our last second derivative, second partial derivative.